basic logic of Path Puja. So, for example, let us say that you call a guest over at your house and you offer them tea with respect and dignity, of course. I'm sure that nobody is going to object to you as to how dare you offer them tea, right? But if it were a party and you are calling a guest who regularly drinks and then offer them tea only, and you have told them that it's a party, and then you'll be offering, or you basically, it's presumed that the drinks are there, and then when drinks are not there. So in the first case, it is a case of Path Puja, wherein you offer anything to your guest, and you'll just have to accept it like we almost always do. But when it's a sadhana, when you are calling them over for a very specific purpose and you know their likes and you know their dislikes, perhaps then the drink is due. And that is the basic difference, that mostly because we like to label everything as sadhana these days because it sounds fancier and cool, whereas most of us householders usually do Path Puja. And in a Path Puja, I'm not saying that everything goes, but let us say that you know that Shivji likes Bel and Dhatura, and you intentionally go and offer him Tulsi. But since maybe, maybe even in Path Puja that you're just respecting, then you can perhaps, then everything perhaps is accepted. However, when you say that I'm doing a particular sadhana, then you have to keep in mind the likes and dislikes of the form of divinity that you are perhaps worshipping, or trying to align yourself with. And then you also have to decide which sort of puja are you doing, whether you're doing the sattvic form, whether you're doing the rajasic form, or whether you're doing the tamasic form. And the tamas made and the padarths, the tattvas change, so you will have to take up those very particular tattvas. Then ghee gets replaced by sarson ka tel, for example. That's one logic. So all of this is basically hyper aligning yourself with whatever that it is that you're trying to achieve. So a sadhana then becomes like, for example, for 41 days you're sitting at a particular place at a particular time in a particular direction, and you have decided, you have taken a sankalp that you're going to do 11 malas basically of a particular mantra, and this is how it's going to go. And correct, and then you are aiming also that at the end of this promised whatever that your commitment is, that the other side also fulfills their commitment. That we can call as a mini sadhana. However, for a Path Puja, which most of us, 99% of us regular Jews do, is you are respecting the other side, and it's usually whenever you are offering your respects, maybe it is out of love or maybe it's just out of respect, you may want to explore as to what this guy or girl, whomsoever that you're worshipping, likes. Because then their tendency to respond to you is going to be slightly better. And on that note, try to study a little bit of what these philosophies are, and then perhaps try to initiate whatever Path Puja or sadhana you would like to do, because it's a lot of study and it's a lot of practice. And on that note, wishing you more alignment in your life. May God bless you always.